Hello everyone, welcome back again to another episode of the Gaming Round Table, brought to you by Unpaid Gamers. That might be a little loud on the that, so I'm going to turn that down just a hair more. I thought that might be loud, but I can still hear it pretty good. This is Just Cause 4, and why Just Cause? And I have a long standing huge fan of this series. I actually own the original on the original Xbox. I played many hours of it. Then it got ported to the 360, which I also own. I own Just Cause 2. I own Just Cause 3, which last year was given away for free. Of course, we have Just Cause 4, which is the latest in the series. This offered some DLC, and one of the new DLCs actually gives you a hoverboard, for the love of God. I have not purchased the Season Pass or DLC for this game, but Just Cause is one of those open world games that I've also just had a big fan of it. But before I continue the video, I want to point out that the other day, me and the creator of Unpaid Gamers, Posthuman Guy, my friend John, did a video on Red Dead Redemption 2. Unfortunately, there was some kind of goof or something happened, and his audio did not come out. We will be trying to re-record that tonight, so we'll be posting it back up. So there was a Red Dead Redemption video for Wednesday, but I believe now, since he is the moderator, so am I, but he has since removed it, and we'll be posting it back up. So Red Dead 2 will come back up a little bit later tonight, hopefully. And because we're continuing Open World Week here on the Gaming Roundtable, brought to you by Unpaid Gamers. Again, check out Posthuman Guy's leisure gameplays and podcasts, and of course the man, the myth, the Apex legend, our friend Rob Banloss. Check him out and join in the fun if you wish or want to. Now, Just Cause 4. Let's get back to the open world discussion. I had discussed Dynasty Warriors 9 yesterday, and its vastness of its land, its emptiness, but its vastness, and how much that I appreciated various aspects of the game and the RPG mechanics that had been added or at least been improved upon. Just Cause has always been one of those series that another one of those games that the interactivity that you can do in the game world, there isn't like you can't just walk up to NPCs in towns and talk to them. There are mission givers and stuff, of course, and you do interact with them, but for the most part, we're gonna go down here, and for the most part, the game is structured around, and all of them are structured around this, where you're overthrowing some kind of dictator or something along that lines. Just Cause featured a kind of a weather pattern kind of situation where you can, there's tornadoes and blizzards and all this stuff, where their weather control thing became a thing, and you're also trying to again overthrow somebody that's oppressing the people. It's probably the best looking game in the series. 3 looked really good, 2 looked good, but 3 looked really good, and 4 actually improved upon its graphics engine, and you're still playing Rico. And again, it's not like I can go up to people. The only thing I can do, like GTA, is to shoot them, or she's taking a photo or whatever because she knows I'm Rico Rodriguez or whatever. There's still a lot of life and people walking around and doing various things. There isn't a whole lot of interactiveness in the environment outside of taking vehicles and, of course, killing people. One of the nice touches that they did add to this game, which I don't believe is in the other games, I want to show you this in the open world. I wish more games did this. Let me swim out a little bit. River is actually flowing. First time I've ever experienced that was in Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and it's neat that it actually has that. And when you're in the boats and whatnot, you actually feel that drift of that water, and that's a really interesting thing. It's also the first game that actually features a switchable radio station, so they did borrow some elements. But Just Cause 4 has always mainly been about a couple things, and one is it showcases its traversal, parachuting, especially with the Avenue of the Wingsuit that they added, which they improved upon some of its controls and whatnot, and I love that aspect. I love the wingsuit. It was in part 3, but it feels very good in the 4th one with improved mechanics. They do still have the grapple hook, switch anytime you want to into whatever you want to do. And the jungle and everything is very lush, and the gunplay is solid. Actually, when you fight enemies, the impact of the weapons is very nice. The sound design is nice. The environment is nice. And of course, it has a very, very large map. And let's go to this map, and it's just, again, like the other Just Causes. The first one was 400 square miles, and so is the rest of it, with a variety of, like, areas. You got your mountain area, your desert area, jungle, swamp. I mean, again, they try to encompass almost every biome, it seems like, and it's really, really, really nice to actually traverse. And the gunplay, again, is solid. Everything feels good when you play the game. And like the previous title, and I've always appreciated the Just Cause series for that. But because you can cause just extreme chaos, you can just do so much in the game. Now, the vehicles in the games have always had a little bit of a learning curve with the vehicle control. The control is a little weird and takes some time to get used to. It's a little floaty, but once you do, it's not bad. But weirdly enough, as they kept adding more and more traversal systems, and you're still having to create chaos here and destroy stuff that's like red color, just like in the previous titles. It's great because you're trying to you're playing through the game, and you're doing what you got to do, and you got to worry about your quantum meter and all that other stuff that happens in this particular title, and just blow up stuff that's red colored, and that creates your chaos and gives you experience. This game actually has a lot of new types of tethering for your grappling hook. For example, you have like balloons that can lift cars, and you can ride on those with people, and you can tether multiple things together just to kind of create, again, it's more of about a destruction playground than anything. And it's never really been about the interacting with the NPCs, because you're basically just in a constant war with these particular with the enemies of the game. All the games have been like that. It's had various missions and different things you might have to do, from escorting to a variety of other things. And I personally have always liked the game. One of the things I liked about the third game was they put back in the town liberations. This one's all about fronting the enemy lines and keeping the revolution, where it needs to be when it comes to this. So to me, it's just always been it's always been a fun series. But the game's primary focus has always been on its traversal. You don't almost need vehicles at all at this point, to be honest, because the traversal system and the way it's set up, you don't. I mean, what's the point of using vehicles when you can just fly around and zip around on your parachute and your wingsuit? Because you don't. It's nice to have them. I know in the third game and in the previous series, you could actually store vehicles in a garage and whatnot. One of the things that I've noticed in this game too is, like in the third one, they carried over there's no multiplayer per se, but anyone playing is online, and the things were popping up in the corner, like they're what you can and cannot do as far as it goes with you're trying to compete for better scores with other people online, and that's a really cool function. It's something that they added, and I like that function of it, and I just, it's good to blow up, and it's all about causing chaos and destruction. The second thing about Just Cause that sets it apart on the open world is this very thing here, where you're just trying to blow stuff up constantly and create as much chaos as possible and unrest, and its destruction is very similar, with all the stuff falling around and blowing up. It's kind of similar to the geomining that you see where other destruction that you might see in a Red Faction Guerrilla, which is another game I'll be talking about later. And this is Thursday, and it's Just Cause 4, and that's the main focus of Just Cause. They have added a variety of different additions to this game, on top of your general map. Right now, because I'm in the early game, I don't really have anything unlocked, because not too long ago I had a problem with my hard drive, and a lot of my progress on almost everything was reset. I didn't have a backup for this, so now I'm just kind of flying around at the beginning of the game. So they're not going to let me go to my menu and be able to do that and do a variety of other things. So what Just Cause's overall feel and scope, it is like I said, it's always been about the destruction. It's always been about causing chaos. Now, some people might say it kind of sucks because it hasn't changed much. The weather thing in the game is actually really neat, but one of the things that I have said is the fact that you would think at this point that Just Cause would not always be, your guy always trying to overthrow dictators. But you know what? That's kind of been the bread and butter of this game. So, I mean, I can't necessarily complain because, it would have been nice to have a change of pace. That would have been nice, but unfortunately, that's just not the case. And Just Cause Rico Rodriguez works for the agency. They just overthrow governors, or they overthrow dictators. That's kind of like Just Cause's story and bread and butter. You just kind of have to accept the fact that it's not going to change much, and it hasn't in a great long while. They just kind of keep things the same, and you're just trying to destroy stuff and chaos stuff, and that's all you're really doing in the game. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there is a large variety of missions. In the third game, they kind of had this upgrade system where you actually had to physically get rid of that sniper before he like wrecks the hell out of me here. You had to basically do these weird challenges in order to upgrade your character, and I'm very happy that they did away with that, and now your upgrades are more tied to your chaos that you're doing, and just trying to again destroy anything that looks red like that. That's kind of where it's at. Destroy anybody trying to snipe at me here. Gotta run away this way. Let's do this. Destroy that. Yeah, I took a little damage there, but oh well. I'll recover. Rico's actually incredibly resilient in this particular game, more so than I think in the first game, because in the third game. In the third game, Rico couldn't take a whole lot. He just couldn't. Like, you would be playing the game and just feel like, man, I'm just getting my ass constantly kicked and handed to me, and that was something that I think sucked about the game, and I'm glad that they did improve that. He's much more durable than he was in the third game. But in the open world, the game is very, very focused on the combat and the destruction. And while there's the story, and of course, and there's things to do. And again, I could take like a grenade, from right then and there. But that's the whole point. You have to cause this destruction, gain your ranks, your chaos, and destroy everything that you can pretty much get your hands on. Just Cause 3, one of the things that I disliked about it immensely, one of the cons of the game, was the fact that Just Cause 3 had this terrible thing where it just constantly spawned enemies at you in areas when they were on high alert, and you could turn around and you could be in a corner and being blocked on all sides except a corner, and then all of a sudden you could leave that corner and you'll turn around and you got enemies that just appeared in the corner, and you're like, well, wait a minute, they weren't there like 2 seconds ago, and they would spawn a lot of that into. In this game, stuff shows up, obviously, but I think the spawning is not as bad as it was. I haven't experienced that so much. Again, it was nice of Avalanche to essentially address most of the problems that were in the game, and I don't know what that was, but we're gonna go over here, get out of it, whatever it is. Something's trying to snipe me. I just don't know from where. I think it's this guy over here. Yeah. Okay. And this guy over here ain't helping me. He's got some kind of laser rifle or some shit. Who the hell knows? But yeah, Just Cause as an open world has progressed and gotten better and better as the series has gotten as it is. looking at, man, I don't know what's going on there. Explosion from where or who or where or how, I do not know. I'm going to try to yank this to see. It's whoever that green is coming from. I don't know where that green beam or whatever the hell's going on. Sometimes it's a vehicle, and you look around, and you're like, okay, well, where is it coming from? Because something is shooting at me, and I do not know the area or the direction in which this is coming. I don't see anything, and yet I'm getting kind of zapped, and I don't know what the issue is or where it's coming from. And that's a problem that plagued the third one and kind of plagues this one. You can kind of, it seems like it's something over here. Okay, there he is up there. And I couldn't even see him earlier, but he's gone now, so get rid of him. And I'm going to try to bring this thing down, because you can like use your grappling to trying to remember. No, that's that. One of them is drawing the tethers. I just don't remember what the control is. Again, it's been a while since I played this, so let's look at the controls. It just says release tethers, grappling hook action, equip grab. Okay, maybe I can do this. Pull them in, which it's vibrating, but it's not strong enough. So maybe I can shoot it. There we go. And again, it's got such a great physics engine, and that's one of the fun things. Again, that you can just spend a lot of time having fun. It also has a very large, because of its playing 400 square mile. It has a very huge, like just game world for exploration. One of the things I love about it is they also, unlike the third one, they actually bothered to put like wind drafts and things that are like you can't really see, but you can feel with the feedback of the controller, so you can always tell like, oh yeah, I can float here. When I was right above the water, I was getting some airlift, and that was nice. You know, that was a nice little thing. And whoops. And so there is like there is a lot of exploration in this game. There are hidden things to find. The water is very strong current here, so we're gonna kick this guy out of his. Oh, goodness! I got bounced off there. There we go. Personal best. There's again one of those. For some reason, it will not let me. There we go. But like you see, personal best, I'm going to steal this sailboat here and go sailing. And you got a variety of different cameras, of course, to choose from. I usually do the long camera, you can see better. And I'm just kind of sailing along. Like I said, Just Cause is really about the traversal system, which is what you pretty much are going to why you play the game. And then, of course, you have the destructions and the exploration. The story missions are pretty fair for an open world game. It's something that you would expect. It's always been a good looking game. Even way back in the first game, it still looks pretty decent even now. It may not look as good as this, but it's still actually it's really a good looking game. And I've always liked Just Cause's graphics, and they just keep improving the system. And Avalanche is one of those game companies that I really enjoy. And of course, I can't go under the bridge, but I'm trying to. But now I'm probably going to get my sailboat stuck on here. And you see, that's funny. Look at that. I can't even... I'm just kind of revving the engine, trying to get through just however I can get through here. It's ridiculous. That's the fun of Just Cause. You see the wood falling off there? You can blow this bridge up if you had to. I'm going to go ahead and jump off this and get up here real quick. So we're going to do that. And I just love that about the game. The game has always had the fun factor, and that's one of the things I like about Just Cause. So I can still blow up parts of the bridge if I want to. It would take a while to shoot down, but it is actually cool because of the wooden thing that you can shoot it down. You really, like I said, you really play this game simply for the combat, the traversal, the fun that you can have shooting enemies. You know, like it says, lethal weapon, personal best, and that's why you play it. You don't really play it for any other reason. You know, that dude's dead. And this guy's buried. You can have fun with it too, and use a, you can use your grappling hook from far away, and boom, drop kick them. That's actually a blast. That kind of blew over the bridge there, which is funny. One of the things they did add was there's a lot of different weapons, and they're all really well done and designed. And I took care of them. Unfortunately, I destroyed the bridge in the process, but I get across. No bigs. It's about ready to go over anyway, because idiots. And, got him. So that's good. Yeah, the gunplay is, and the sounds it makes is great. It's very visceral sound on the sound effects. And there is a lot of different weapons. So some of them have like different things. It says a deploy, defender. I can actually like stay in ragdoll there if I want to have fun with that. But let's say I tap R1, put the shield down for like an auto turret kind of thing, where I can just do that to see. I mean, to make it stationary. They did some really unique things with that, and of course we can just zip on away. And go and get out of here.
Copy. We acquire target now.
And try to get to a better position here and get up here and get out of these guys' way here. I'm gonna steal this car, and again, because of the traversal system, it's kind of, it does find, you almost have the same problem that you had with Saints Row 4, where in Saints Row, because you can basically glide and fly and run as fast as you can, having the ability to take vehicles is almost pointless with the traversal system, being able to fly with a wingsuit. It was a little bit more prominent in 1 and 2 because all you had was a grapple and it was an actual gun. It wasn't actually a seamless thing. And now I can just fly around and just escape, and what would be the point of trying to, you know, just keep the momentum going like that and just escape whenever you can escape, and then hit that up in the air and then do it again, and it's just, you know, having the vehicles is nice, and it's fun to be, you know, just ride the boat sometimes, and just to kind of, you can hold your air brake, just kind of float on down here. And because they have improved on that system so much, it's almost pointless to here, I'm gonna meet that boat. There we go.
Excuse me.
Get him out of here, steal that boat, and it's got a turbo jumping machine gun, which is great. Throw up some vehicles here. See you later. And they'll actually sink. I love that effect. And that's really, again, why you play the game. You just play Just Cause for its general destruction. You play Just Cause for its exploration and its traversal system. You're not going to be able to talk to NPCs outside of the mission guys and the cutscenes. You're not going to be able to do any of that. Part 2 had these factions you could help out, and that was kind of fun again, but there was one, the leader's the only one you really spoke to. But like I said before, Just Cause, you play it for its overall destruction and its huge open world. I like the fact that when I said earlier, though, with the river having an actual current, you can feel it when you turn your ships, when you're, and I like that. The game has a lot of good force feedback and feel in the controller, so I'm just kind of roaming around. And just blowing shit up. It doesn't really count towards your chaos meter. And the whole concept of the game is that you're trying to, this line here, this is the line you're trying to force. And it unlocks like complete behind the lines. So if I want to start the story mission, which is here, you also have like these little, you know, where you can find stuff and look for stuff. It's, again, it kind of ticks all those it takes the open world with a lot of icons and go here and try that and find this and look for stuff and blah blah. It does that a lot. If I want to like track, it tells me where I need to go. You've got your successful ops, recon, your region strikes, highway extraction, cleared, behind enemy lines. That's your story. So there is side content and different things to do. And as for open world games, I mean, you're not going to get anything like I've played games, that have that. Oh, cool, I can use a parachute. Oh, cool, I can do this and do that. But in this game, it's taken to a much more extreme level, and you're going to be, you gotta fight these guys. Shoot the other military down. Let's back up so I can get him. You're basically playing the game, because no game really lets you do that. To seamless in from vehicle to I can hold down the vehicle, go to the roof, shoot stuff, go ahead and jump in this water here. As soon as I get close to the shore, parachute up into the air, parachute again, real boost to go faster. And again, it's just that the whole concept, and the fact that you can fly across the world in your wingsuit, and there's just nothing like it, and no game world is going to give you that. And especially now that the expansion has added stuff along the lines of a hoverboard, and now you can and do tricks. Now you can fly across the water in that, so you can go from hoverboard to parachute to wingsuit. So Just Cause continues to push the boundaries of traversal in games, and that's probably one of the things that showcased it. When the first game came out, all they talked about was, oh, you can do all these different kinds of stunts, and it almost looked like you were trying to be a stuntman. But then it just later on, the game just kept improving, and they kind of got away from that and focused more on the being able to do the things that you're seeing me do right now, which is this whole traversal system. And it's great because it just feels good, and it's a lot of fun to play. And trying to get some more air here and get up off the ground so I can get up in the air. But it's kind of like the destruction, the gunplay, and everything. I think if I had to say that there were some negatives about Just Cause, if you're new to the series, then you're going to have a great time. You should just start with 4 or start with 3 and then go to 4. But 4 would be not a bad place to start, because you'd have to go backwards in the systems to play the other ones, So, but one of the things that I'm saying is that you could. It's the fact that the Just Cause series has always been about Rico overthrowing some dictator of some kind. And it's been that formula for a while, and with various degrees of things. Like when they got rid of the taking over the villages from the first game and put it in the second game, and got rid of it and then put it back in the third game, that was great. I always enjoyed that whole village stuff. In the third game, you can actually let's see here, hold on. Blow this up real quick. You can take over those villages and kill certain things, and then you're good. And run here, out here. But generally speaking, the game has not changed much in as far as what they have done is they've taken the formula of Just Cause, and they have improved upon it and continuously improve upon it. They made the gunplay better, the ragdoll physics is now finally there was a lot of shooting at me, but they made the ragdoll better. They made the traversal has gotten easier to control and easier to jump in and around and do things. They have just slowly but surely continuously improved the gameplay, and they have refined it and refined it again and then again. So by the time you reach the fourth game, there you have it. But as far as like the negatives, as I want to get back to, The negatives of the game is simply because while there are these neat cars you can drive around, which is great, um, you almost don't need to because of the fact that you have this. Uh, take that. He did. Because of that, you know, there's no need for really to get into the vehicles because it's not like you can paint them up and do things. It's not like other games that let you do that. See, this is gonna. Yeah, there. I'll take him out. And more chaos ensues there. Kick him. I see. When you start getting into this stuff, now I'm like dying. I'm gonna have to get on out of here and get my health back with the regenerative air. So there we go. And it's just one of those things where that's one of the cons. Like, the gameplay in general hasn't changed much as far as it goes with. See, I blew its tires out, so I'm probably gonna die if I don't get out of here and get away from that vehicle. But that's the nice thing. Blow the tires out and they can't get you because I blew the tires out. There we go. It's just, again, they always fall back on the whole dictator thing. You work for the agency. That's what you're basically doing, and it's all four games are basically alike in that regard. You're still just causing, you know, chaotic stuff, and but it's again, the whole idea why it broke, don't fix it. I think it Just Cause did do something a little bit different. I would like to see the ability to do other things briefly besides just blow shit up. Because in the second game, I remember one of the levels is there's a casino, but it's not like you can do anything with it. Like, it'd be nice to see some more interactive aspects to the game. I would like to see more of the like, I guess, where you can go inside of buildings and some side stuff to do that's closer to like what you see in other open world games from like GTA and the whatnot. I get why they don't, because then it'd be like, well, you know, that's other games do that, we don't do that kind of situation. So I think that's why they don't, because at the end of the day, it's like, do you want to just have, you know, do you want to have something that sets it apart? And Just Cause, again, it's the same thing. Traversal, run around, blow shit up, you know, fight, you know, military style weapons and enemies, and that's basically what the game's about. It makes sense in its context. You know, you're always going to be dealing with these enemies, and you might as well, you know, like they got right there, blow that up, you know. I mean, like I said, they're just laying and they're dead. I mean, the game is a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun playing Just Cause, probably more than a lot of the other open world games, just because it's so dynamic. Once you start unlocking, like when I unlock the balloon stuff, let's get rid of that sniper that's obviously up there. And that destruction there is fantastic. That's just great. Got you. Oh, goodness. Oh, crap. I'm like stuck. Damn. Now I'm getting shot up bad. And that's why you play it. And Just Cause is, to me, it's a great game. It's fun as hell to play. Because of the different chaotic things that happen, I find myself laughing out loud. You know, jumping on a 757 or plane and getting on the roof and then flying it into like a military base that has some giant explosion and stuff and jumping off last minute. You can do that in this game. Not a lot of games let you do really over the top stuff like that, and this one does. And it's fun, you know. And I like the fact that people who know Rico, it's like he's a superhero. People know of his exploits. They discuss it in all the games. It's like he's this famous, you know, spy. Another nice thing is that he's Latino. Not a lot of games It seems to me, like you said, it's that old adage, oh, we'll just use another white guy. But like Watch Dogs, like this one, it's nice to see people of race and people who, and them being able to play these characters. They're great in their setting. It's perfect, pretty much. I'm just shooting the hell out of everybody, and with a bunch of many kills as I can get. Oh, jeez, I'm getting run over now. This is ridiculous. And, well, I just like blew myself up, but there you have it. But anyway, Just Cause 4 is excellent. It's such a fun game to play, and generally speaking, some of the expansions, they added an expansion that was kind of Halloweeny, in the sense that you actually had to fight like demons that were unleashed, and they went all kind of horror on you. And there's some really cool things that this game has added in its DLC. So it's really nice, and eventually you'll be able to call in your military vehicles, for example, and you'll be able to do that, and you'll be able to do a large variety of things. There's more stuff over there to blow up, as I see, so I'm going to fly over here real quick and do that. So if you're looking for a open world game that has a more structured focus, stuff like, you know, stuff like this, what you're seeing here, you know, gotta blow these engines and stuff up here. Make sure that gotta cause more, as much chaos as possible. You can see, oh Jesus, I'm getting hit by that missile launcher. What the hell? How am I not dead? I do not know. I just got hit with a bunch of missiles, so you got me on that. But you know, it's really just a great game. So, oh, getting hit by some kind of anti-aircraft. It's this guy here. But see, I can just take his helicopter and throw him out. Thanks for the helicopter. In the other game, they made it like a mini game where you had to like punch things a few times, and you got to something this missile launch. And again, somehow I survived and took no damage. Okay, I think I can hack this though if I wanted to. Oh god, I'm getting this just destroyed by everything. There's just a lot of enemies over here. That's one of the issues. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, hack it. In the old game, I think it's just a meter. You don't actually need to. I might be able to hack this. I gotta get out of here before I lose my shirt on everything. Trying to, because these are the enemies over here on their line. I need to get over here to where the good guys are at before I die and get knocked out of the air, of course. But that's okay. That actually inadvertently helps me, because now I can stay out of their line of fire. And that's the thing. They have done all these improvements. I remember when you had to do in the second game and in the third game, the hacking was like a little mini game you had to play, and this one they got rid of that. You just hack it, you wait for a meter, and it goes. It's not like you have to really like wait around and do these other stuff. So it's nice to have a game that I've been playing the series since its inception, and it's great to sit there and say, wow, I've seen the evolution of this game series, how it's continuously improved. But like I said before, you are running into some things that that most people might have already, who's been playing the series, like, does it have to be another dictator I have to overthrow? Does it have to always be like there's no buildings to really go into? It's always the same even if the missions are different in the story, the structure is very similar. And even though it does get cooler with your variety of upgrades, like I love the upgrades to like where you get the balloon tethers and you can like lift things off the ground and people, and you can just again have a lot of fun in this game, and it's nice. So and that's kind of what makes Just Cause set itself apart from other of the open world games that are out there. So this has been Open World Week all week long. We have a few more days left in the week before it's the end. I'll wrap things up on Sunday night. I think I began them, or I'll wrap things up on Monday or Sunday night, where we have the 7 days. This is Open World Week, and I was showcasing a little bit of Just Cause 4, another unique and interesting open world game that I really like, and totally worth your time to play the game. It is excellent. It's a lot of fun. It's a good looking game. It's got great combat, great traversal, and great destruction. But if you're looking for something that gives you a little bit more interaction with NPCs or buildings to enter or side quests or side things to do, you're not going to find it here. This is a much more tightly focused open world experience. Please, please, please subscribe to the Gaming Roundtable. Please subscribe to Unpaid Gamers. Check out Post-Human Guy and his leisure plays, and check out his podcast. You can check me out on the Gaming Roundtable, of course, and check out Banloss, the Apex Legend guy. He is streaming that for you, and as far as I know, that's all he's doing. But he may be doing some more. I haven't touched base with them. But for right now, you can subscribe to us at Unpaid Gamers on YouTube.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at jimprofit275@gmail.com. That's Jim, Jim, Profit, jimprofit275@gmail.com. I will try to answer your questions in a timely fashion. Please leave a comment, a like, a subscribe, and as always, gamers, we'll see you on the next time on the Gaming Roundtable for the continuation of Open World Week. As always, gamers, you know the drill. Good gaming.